and welcome back to my channel. I hope you are all doing well. It's currently Saturday afternoon today and I feel like I've got so much to update you on since Thursday when the extension work was continued on from my last video. So if you'd have seen the end of my last video, you'll know that we knocked through the kitchen window and the brickwork underneath into the extension and then took out the patio sliding door in the dining room as well. So we started the process of opening up the spaces. It's pretty much where I left off on Wednesday evening. So come Thursday we had a lot going on. Like I say, if you did see my previous video then you'll know everything that we have had planned for Thursday. I don't want to repeat myself too much, but we had the big knock through happen from the kitchen into the dining room, which I was very skeptical and very worried about at the time, but everything ran smoothly and it looks so good in the extension. So I will show you that in a moment, but I did ask Sam to again film a couple of clips of him knocking the wall through, so I'll include some footage of that here. That you will have just seen is what Sam had filmed on Thursday. Now he was here on Friday with his work friends again doing some more work, but there was nothing really interesting to film as such. It was just digging out some of the holes for the pipe work and plastering up in here, so it was just kind of tying everything together. I think there was some cement work that they did yesterday as well, and if you'd have noticed at the end of the last clip we had our fence panels changed on Thursday as well, which has made such a big difference to the back of the garden because it was one of those things that we just had to get ticked off our list. I wasn't really thinking about them being changed and how it would look. Now that the fence panels have been installed, I think it looks so much better, so fresh, and the next step for that is to get the wood treated and painted whatever colour we decide, but we won't be doing that until we move on to the garden. With the knock through of the wall on Thursday and getting the floor dug up, and the plastering and stuff all done in here, the amount of dust it has created is unbelievable. Like, we've experienced dust over the past 2 years of renovating this house, so I am very much used to it. But there's something about knocking through walls that just creates so much more. So I did spend most of Thursday when I got back from the office and yesterday trying to clean up all of the dust. So it's taken me until today to start this video because I just needed to spend that time just cleaning everything down, because even in here, all of the shelves, all of the home decor bits, in the hallway, all of the table that's got all of the bits and bobs on, and even in the utility room, that has all needed to be stripped out, dusted and cleaned. So it has been a task to keep on top of that, and I am noticing that there is still dust settling, and there will still be dust settling, I am sure, for a very long time. I've got to take my hat off to Sam and his work friends for knocking that wall through, especially because it was a load bearing wall, and installing the RSJ was probably not an easy task for them to do, but they did manage to do that so smoothly, and everything is ready now for the building inspector to come and inspect the next stage. I did notice on my previous video I kept calling the RSJ a lintel. It is not a lintel, it is a load bearing wall, so it needed much more than just a lintel to hold everything that's above. Honestly, don't really know what I'm talking about, to be honest, but I do like to make sure that I correct myself when I'm wrong in certain situations. Before the wall got knocked through, Sam's uncle did come over to move the gas pipe that was in the way of them knocking the wall through. So he came over, I think it was on Wednesday evening, to cap that all off so that the knock through could happen on the Thursday. So that's the only other thing I think I've forgotten to mention. And now I'm aware that I have rambled on for way too long, so I'm going to take you into the extension so that you can see the wall knocked through. And before I take you in there, this is what the lounge currently looks like. Now, when Sam and his work friends had to knock a hole through this wall, I was a little bit worried as to how much mess it would make in here. And I mean, it did make a bit of mess, but they made sure to put dust sheets down and stuff just to keep it as tidy as possible. And with having it plastered yesterday, I don't actually think it looks too bad. So in here, all that needs doing is just sanding over the plastering and then getting that bit painted. And then here we did have cracks appear from where the, apologies, my camera didn't want to focus as always, but as I was saying, we have had this bit around here all polyfilled, because this is where there was an opening which got covered over and there was cracks that had appeared from just movement. So now that all this has been polyfilled, this will also just get sanded down and painted. So even though it was a bit of a pain having to come into here to do this work, it has meant that in the kitchen the RSJ could be installed properly. So taking you through here, this is what our new space looks like, and I do apologise for the lighting. It's just so bright out those bifold doors that this camera doesn't like it. But as you can see, you can just picture the space so much better now. And all of this space in this half is going to be our kitchen area. So just quickly going over the plans for in here. We're going to have worktop space across this back wall and down here ever so slightly, and then sort of from about here all the way through to near this door here. We're going to have tall units, and then we're going to have units above the worktop space and obviously down below. And we're going to have a hob with an extractor fan built into it in the middle there. And then with this wall here, we're going to utilise it as much as possible, and we're going to have an island coming off of here, which is going to hold the sink and the dishwasher in. And then across this side here, where the fridge freezer is at the moment, we're going to have a tall fridge and freezer and an extra tall cupboard as well for snacks and various bits. And then this empty space here is just going to be used for a radiator, and I think we've decided we're just going to put like the dog bowls and stuff in this bit because it was a bit of a wasted space and we needed somewhere for the radiator to go as well, so opted for not putting anything on these walls. Now, as you can see, there are a lot of holes that have been created everywhere. Pipe work down here which Sam has run from the end of the utility room through, and I think this is to do with the plumbing in of the sink and stuff. I could be wrong, and I will confirm it with Sam, but he has basically just dug all of this out ready for that next stage. And then this is what the RSJ looks like. I was about to call it a lintel, and it's not a lintel, and we have got to leave it like this so that the building inspector can see it and tick off this next stage. And it does drop down from the current ceiling, so there will be a bit of a lip across the top of here, so it won't be 100% flush from one ceiling into the next. At least we've got that in place so it supports everything that is above. And as you can see, all this mess across this back wall, haven't really done anything with it as of yet because we are struggling to find place to put it all. So until we need to move it, it's just going to be left here. And then coming into the extension from the end of my last video, you will have seen a big pile of boxes and quite a lot of furniture in here, which has now been all cleared out from our charity collection that we had. So it feels so good to have gotten rid of all of that stuff. And then coming into the extension, everything is pretty much looking the same. And the only real changes that have happened is just installing insulation here, there and everywhere. As you can see at the tops of there, it's been installed. So these are the little bits and bobs that got done yesterday that weren't filmed. And underneath this OSB board here, there's a lot of concrete from all the pipe work that was here, and we've had to cover it over because, as you can see down here, there is a little doggy paw print because Rosie has stepped into the cement, I think 3 times now. We've just covered most of it over to prevent her from doing that again, but we did decide that we would leave that little paw print just there. He could put her marking on the house. Now Oscar wasn't as silly as Rosie. He completely avoided the cement altogether because he was obviously much more clever than she was yesterday. And then looking out onto the garden, this is what the fence looks like across the back. And as you can see from the old fence panels across this left side compared to the fence panels across the back, it has made such a big difference. And we did go across and just trim up some of the branches from the back of our neighbour's garden as well. And we did obviously go around to them just to let them know what was going on. And I just feel like it has made such a difference and has made looking out into the garden that little bit more pleasant, even though it is still a mess at the moment. But yeah, it does feel so surreal to get to this point where we have all of the walls knocked through. And I think that they have done an unbelievable job. And I know I moan about all of the dust and the mess, but it will definitely be worth it in the end when we've got our nice open plan living space. It's Tuesday afternoon, which means that we've had the kitchen surveyor out to measure up the kitchen and utility area, ready for everything to be ordered. We are still yet to hear from Wren Kitchens with regards to the designs and the finalising of everything that needs to be ordered, so hopefully within the next day or so we will hear back from them and just get the last finishing touches all tied up ready for ordering, which is such an exciting next step. At the weekend, myself and Sam decided that we would spend the weekend not doing any house renovation work at all and really just try and relax as much as possible. With it being the last bank holiday Monday, we wanted to make the most of that. And it was such a nice weekend, just spending time with each other, not really having to think about much else. And yesterday was quite a nice day because we actually went out to a baby shop, I don't really know what you call them, to have a look at some travel systems, and we have officially ordered our pushchair, travel system, car seat, that kind of thing. So it's all starting to feel a little bit more real. In the meantime, I have got to get cracked on in the nursery, putting the IKEA furniture together. I am going to make a start now on putting the wardrobe together, and Sam has given me strict instructions that I am not to lift anything too heavy. I mean, it's not going to be long before he's back home anyway, so hopefully he'll be able to help me lift the couple of things that I probably shouldn't be lifting. So hopefully over the next couple of hours I will have at least got one thing up and ready, and then I think potentially tomorrow, I'm not sure, depending on how much time I've got, I might put together the drawers as well. And since I've been buying some more stuff, it'd be nice just to kind of have somewhere to store it for the time being. So I'll take you into the nursery so that you can see what it currently looks like at the moment. Now across this side, this has still got to all get sorted. My mum is actually having this dressing table drawer situation here, so that will be gone soon. And then over here we've just got storagey bits which are going to stay in here. I'm still yet to take these pictures downstairs for the extension, and then I think I'm going to contact a local dog shelter place or charity that will take on these duvets, because it would be such a shame to throw them away. There's nothing wrong with them at all, they're just not needed anymore, so I've got to get that all sorted. But moving across to this side, as mentioned in my previous video, myself and Sam went to Mama's and Papa's and picked up a couple of bits, and then I have picked up some more bits in the meantime as well, so I'm sure at some point I will show you everything that we've picked up. But this is all of the furniture that has just been stored in here for the past week or so, so hopefully I'm going to get cracked on, at least get the wardrobe sorted. I think I'll just move the drawers over to here for the time being, just so that it creates this space so I can get the wardrobe built. Apart from adding the last finishing touches, I have finally finished building the wardrobe. As you can see, I haven't got a doorknob yet for the wardrobe door. This one comes as standard on this mirrored door here. And then on the inside, I haven't installed the light yet because I need Sam's help, as I need to poke it through the hole and kind of reach at the top here. So I just thought it'd be easier to wait for him rather than me struggle to try and reach up there with a bump. So I'm trying to be as sensible as I can. And this is the layout that I decided to go for inside the wardrobe, which I am obsessed with. I think it's just gonna be perfect for storage. And this bottom basket here, I love these baskets because you can fill it with so much stuff, and I thought it might be quite good to put blankets and bedding and all the bulkier stuff in here, and then use these white drawers just to put clothes in. As always, I got interrupted by Oscar and Rosie's barking, but as I was saying, these white drawers I thought would be perfect to store baby girl's clothes in, and also I opted for 2 rails as well because obviously her clothes are going to be quite small. I thought it'd be great to utilise this space a little bit more and add in 2 rails as opposed to just the 1. And I think it fits perfectly in this space. So yeah, it did take me longer than I'd hoped, but it's finally up now, and I think by having it behind this door just hides it in this room nicely. And I will put a bumper sticker on either the end of the door handle or on this wardrobe bit so that the handle isn't constantly bashing against the door, but you can still open the door pretty much 90 degrees and still have some space, so I'm really pleased with that. It took me way longer to build this wardrobe than I'd hoped. It's currently Wednesday today, and I thought I was going to be able to get it done yesterday, but I didn't. It spilled over into today, and to be honest, building flat pack furniture whilst pregnant, not enjoyable whatsoever. I have got a couple of blisters on my hands as well. I do find that now I'm getting bigger, probably not going to be able to see from there. Now that I'm getting bigger, she's just getting in the way of everything. So that's just one thing I didn't really think about when building the furniture. But the wardrobe is done now, and I think I'm going to save the drawers, which are currently over here at the moment, for this weekend. I'm hoping I'm going to have some time just to build that. But I am pleased that I have finally made a start, and I thought whilst I'm in here I'd just show you a couple of bits I have picked up recently for baby girl. I'm not going to go into detail of everything that I've picked up because I'll be here for a little while, but I have made a bit of a start. And I think with regards to the theme of this room, I'm going to go with a duck theme, because whilst I was in Mamas and Papas, I came across this cot mobile, which I just thought was the sweetest thing that I have ever seen in my life. Like, how adorable is that? So I think because I've got this, I kind of want to build the room up around it. I have seen a changing mat online that's got a cute little goose on it, so I'm going to have small little touches around the room, I think. Nothing extravagant. There's not going to be a big massive main theme running through, but I did pick up a couple more bits from Mamas and Papas. This range is honestly adorable. So I did pick up some bibs that have got cute little duckies on them, or a goose. I don't really know what you'd call it, but I see that the other day and thought that was brilliant. And whilst I was there, I picked up some cot bed fitted sheets, and again it's just got the sweetest little ducks on them. Very subtle, very neutral, but I just thought that that was quite sweet, and I think that confirmed it for me that I was going to go with that kind of theme. And to top it off, I did pick up a sweet little baby grow in, again, the same kind of print, which I just thought was adorable. This is up to 1 month. Like, I can't believe that's inside of me, and she's gonna grow. It just blows my mind. And then another thing that I picked up was some muslin cloths, and again it's got that same kind of print on it as well. So I think that has officially confirmed that that's the kind of thing I'm going to run with in this room. And then whilst we were there, we couldn't help but pick up a couple of bits. Now Sam actually chose these next couple of items because he thought that it was just too adorable not to pick up. So he picked up a Tummy Time activity toy, which is just so incredibly sweet. I was going to opt for something quite neutral and quite plain, but Sam really wanted the pink. I know, can you believe it? So we've got this cute little cushion, and then we did pick up a big play mat as well, all in the same kind of pink thing, which I thought was really sweet. And then another thing that we picked up was this as well, from 6 months old. I'm by no means an expert with any of this stuff, and I know that these aren't a necessity, but we just saw them and couldn't help ourselves. I won't bore you with any more stuff, but I have been slowly collecting bits here and there, so I have got this pile of stuff now. So I really do need to get the drawers all sorted so that I can at least put it all away. Moving on to house renovation updates, we did have the building inspector come over today to tick off the RSJ, which is currently in between the kitchen and dining room. Everything was perfectly fine, and the next stage that they need to look at now is the electrics. So we have got our electrician coming on Friday to chase out all the cables in the walls as to where the sockets need to go. So hopefully this weekend we will have a lot going on, and the building inspector is coming back on Friday as well to hopefully tick off that next stage. If you've made it to the end of this video, thank you so much for watching. Your support doesn't go unnoticed and it really means so much to me.